Oh, am I supposed to keep going? Yeah, let's just say, for instance, for me, one of my wants is to have a golf simulation room with 12-foot high ceilings. Well, I don't know if that's going to be feasible, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make it happen. So, air conditioning,
what
projector,
I want is a fireplace
heating
in my
mats,
bedroom.
maybe a little
That's what I
putting green in there.
Those are some ones. Darn it.
And the blue plans sent to you.
Blue plans?
Yeah, the blue plans. Blue plans.
The blue plans.
You ready?
Yeah.
Say cut or something.
Cut. No, action.
Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight.
Welcome to our channel. This is our third episode in our Dream Build series. I'm Corey. This is my wife, Jennifer.
So let's just give you a little background on where we are today and how we got here. So 4 months ago, we moved to this beautiful state of Tennessee in hopes of building our dream home. And we actually bought property last October, and we had the idea that we would get here, we would live in a rental for about a year while the house was being built. We were going to hire a builder. And when we started getting into the whole process and realizing how much money it was really going to cost us to build the house that we want to build, we realized we didn't have the budget for it. And so we set about looking into how we could potentially build our own home, be our own contractor. And so that's what's led us to this point. And currently we are in the process of getting that dream realized. It's been a little bit of a process, to say the least. We kind of had problems figuring out where we were supposed to first start and what should come next, and just getting that ball rolling. But we are currently now at the phase where we are looking or getting our house plans.
Today's video, we're going to discuss the easiest, the fastest, and the most cost-effective way to find house plans for your lot. So let's get started.
So first, let's discuss the pros and cons of getting online plans.
So there's a million plans that you can look at online. I mean, pretty much everything's been covered. That's a great pro to online plans, that you'll see everything.
With a multitude of features, you know, whatever
Elevations,
you,
everything.
yeah.
I mean,
any type style of home you can think of is online and available for you to look at.
the second pro is probably the cost savings of buying a plan online.
Also, another pro is the filters that you can utilize when looking for your dream house plan. You can filter by whether you want a single story versus a 2-story, whether, you know, what style house you want, traditional versus modern, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. So it has all kinds of filters that you can utilize to really narrow down and find the house plan that best fits your needs.
Another pro of online plans is it's real time saving, especially by being able to narrow down your search, the number of garages, bedrooms, all that, and the elevations you want. You can narrow that down and get your plan sent to you real quick, because they're already there. They're sitting there waiting for you to request them or pay for them and have them sent to you.
Right. Versus drawing up your own, sketching, and expecting it to become a reality within, you know, a short amount of time. So definitely a time saver.
And let's get into some of the cons about online. So the first for me is, as we researched the online plans, the little changes that we wanted to make were extremely expensive. And I mean little tiny changes, like adding a window or moving a door or adding a little bit of square footage or turning the garage facing another direction. That stuff was, each one of those little changes was upwards of $200 when you were getting those plans.
Per change.
Per change. So each one is $200, and that adds up quick when you're dealing with a house that you're not exactly wanting and you're making little changes everywhere.
Another problem with online plans is that they may not be to code for your specific area or climate. They're doing a generic house plan that may not always fit in every region. So let's say it was designed and it's fine for Florida, but it may not be fine for Wyoming or someplace that gets a lot of snow. So you kind of have to keep that in mind, that these are very generic and that they are not always following what codes may be required for your specific area.
Most people take these plans and have to take them to an architect or an engineer to bring their plans up to code anyways. So it becomes pretty expensive. Yeah, it just adds up. That's a real... That's another con. Yeah.
Is that you think that you're getting these plans and you've paid for them.
You can start building.
But you probably have to go and actually have an architect review. So
bring them to code. Yeah.
They're not going to do that for free. So now that we kind of covered the online pros and cons, let's discuss some pros and cons of hiring an architect. So one of the major pros of hiring an architect is that if you want complete customization, meaning you really know exactly what you want and none of the online houses are going to have all these features that you want, you're definitely going to have to go see an architect to get those plans drawn up.
One of the good things about hiring an architect is you have that sense of security or confidence that the plan was done to your codes in your area, and you don't have to worry about going out and getting a secondary engineer to look at them. So you're good to go if you have a local architect draw your plans up.
And you have more of that personal interaction, where when you're dealing with an online company, not that they don't deal with you, it's just that you're not going to have that same personal level that you would get with someone that you go and sit down and have a chit chat with. So that's another really big pro. So what are some of the cons?
Money. The cost of an architect could be upwards of $20,000 depending on the size of your home. Between $10,000 and $20,000 for just a set of plans to hire an architect. And that's speaking for our general area. That's not, I can't say what it is in Wisconsin or where, but here in Tennessee it was $10,000 to $20,000 to have plans drawn up by an architect.
And that just wasn't something that we could afford at all.
Another con with hiring an architect is time. We've heard that it takes up to a year at some points with the complex plans, or if you have a lot of changes, it takes a long time to get those plans and get blueprints in your hands and get your PDFs, and it just takes a lot of time to get that sorted out.
And there's one other option that we want to bring up that can help you with cost savings, and that is using a draftsman. They basically do everything that an architect can do. It's just that they don't actually have that degree, and they can't say that they are an architect.
They can't put an architect's review and stamp on the plans.
Right. But they are an option, and if your area doesn't require a review or an architect stamp, because some areas do not require it, here in Tennessee it's not required, you can utilize a draftsman.
Well, the majority of the states that I researched don't require architect stamp and review, so
just check for
sure
your
you
area.
Check them.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to get stuck thinking that you're okay and you're not. So what we suggest to basically give you as many options and as many ideas as you possibly can get is to go online, go to multiple websites, and look at as many house plans as you can. Even if they're too big for your needs or too small for your needs, just you want to get ideas and you want to print out those plans that you find appealing or may have those features that you want in your new home. So we suggest you look at just plan after plan and really narrow down what it is that you like, the style that you like, all those things before you even consider buying online or going and talking to an architect or draftsman.
The other thing you need to keep in mind is your lot size, your setbacks, and your easements. Make sure you choose a plan that your house will fit on your lot size with your easements and your setbacks. And if not, you're gonna have to go back and try to find something that will fit.
Yeah, the worst thing would be is to buy a house plan and it doesn't fit on the lot that you've purchased.
And then if you have a narrow lot or an odd shaped lot, some developments and subdivisions require a certain facing of your house. So it's got to face a certain direction. So if your house won't turn that direction on that lot, then it's too long, or you know what I mean?
Then you've wasted money.
Yeah. So try to do yourself some diligence and find the right size house for your lot.
Another thing to keep into consideration before you buy your house plans is if you've bought land in an HOA, or in our instance, it's a POA, a Property Owners Association, but it's the same difference. Be sure to check those CC&Rs because they could potentially have requirements that will dictate the size of house that you can have. Like sometimes you can't have anything less than 1,800 square feet. Also, they can dictate what kind of siding or facade that you put on your house, driveways, things like that. So you really need to be aware before you start buying house plans if your actual HOA has certain requirements that may make some of them obsolete for you.
Also keep in mind the elevation changes of your property. There might be a case where you need to purchase plans that have a walkout basement to accommodate the slope of your lot.
Make sure also if you're going to be purchasing online, or even if you're going to an architect or a draftsman, that you request a PDF version of your plans so that you have something that you can email to your subcontractors to get bids, and also that they'll know the specifics of your house so that they can give you the right information for the right materials. So we went online and did lots and lots of searches of house plans and really dived into what we felt that we needed in a home, also what we wanted in a home, and we basically just narrowed it down until we had a few set of plans that fit our needs and also what we could comfortably afford square footage wise. So again, lots and lots of searches, and just basically have fun with it.
So then we printed off a couple of different images and plans, or pictures of the plans we liked, and we did a search online for architects and draftsmen in our local area. Ultimately, we decided to go with the draftsman because of cost. And we don't need an architectural review or stamp in our area to build a home. So we went with the draftsman.
And we basically took that file folder full of our ideas that we've printed off online and went to go see them. Well, we just finished with the architect, and Corey and I, we both have smiles on our faces right now. Okay, we loved them first and foremost, so we're going with them for sure. And the kid we were working with, yes, he was a kid in my eyes. He was probably our son's age, but just really, really nice people in there. Yeah, very knowledgeable. He listened to everything we had to say. We asked questions and he had answers. It was just a really, really good experience. And Corey, you're happy, aren't you?
Yeah.
So we're ready. He's gonna get these drawn up. He said about 3 weeks, so I'm excited. In 3 weeks, we will actually have what was in our heads on paper, and we went in with our caviar dreams on our beer budgets, but I think all in all, I mean, we might have to cut back on a few things, but
The money that's going to be saved by us building the house, though, is going to be...
yeah, I'm hoping that's going to help us in the long run. But yeah, just so excited right now, you guys. It feels like, I guess because up to this point it just kind of felt like a dream. Even though we had bought the property and we've been on the property, it's always been just so far in the distance that it's never really felt real until right now. Anyway, it was fun. It was fun, and I feel like the dream is actually starting to become a reality.
So we ultimately went with Goodman Creations in Cleveland, Tennessee. We got our first draft back, and we had, like, I think 2 or 3 minor changes to our plan after our first draft. So they did a really great job of putting on paper our ideas and what we wanted. The other thing that we didn't really talk about as we sat down with the Draftsman, they have a good grasp on the cost of materials per square foot. So if you're, let's say for instance, doing a brick facade, they pretty much know for this area, because this is where we're having our plans done in this area, they know the square footage it's going to cost you to do the brick facade, or if you're doing stone, or they pretty much have the idea. So you can kind of do a quick, as you're sitting down there and making some changes with them, you know, for financial reasons, you know, trying to save a little bit of money, you know what each thing's going to cost you, how much more it's going to be to do brick versus wood paneling or stucco or rock, you know the difference. So like, you can bring some of that stuff back in right there at the table when you're sitting down and meeting with the draftsman.
Basically, you know, you're going to go in there with all of your needs, but you're also going to go in with those wants that, you know, you think, oh, I really want that in my house. And they can basically kind of rein you back in, because you don't want to overshoot your budget. They will ask you what your overall budget is before they actually sit down and start discussing the design plans of that home. So again, I really feel like utilizing a draftsman was the best option for us in our house build.
Our plans aren't finalized, so we don't have blueprints or the actual PDFs that are going to go out to subcontractors and what have you, but what we do have is a rough draft online that we can show you guys, and you can see exactly what the house is going to look like.
So we're very excited to show you our house plans for our new home here in Tennessee.
Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep. All that's left is you and me. I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me, and let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night, time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds.
We really hope that our videos are helping you guys out that are wanting to build your own home. If you guys have any comments or questions or suggestions for us, please leave them in the comments below. We really would appreciate it. We know we didn't cover everything. It's kind of impossible to cover everything because there's so many variables when it comes to picking out a house plan, your taste and your likes and your dislikes. We can only speak to how we went about our process. So you guys are gonna have to sit down and figure out what process is right for you. For us, this was the most cost-effective way for us to do our house plan.
Stay tuned for our next episode where I discuss all of our design ideas and plans for the exterior and interior of our new home. Please tune in because I would love all of your feedback. I plan to show you some of my design boards that I have been diligently working on, and also maybe showcase some of the finishes that we've, I think, decided on actually for the house itself. We want to thank you so much for being here with us today, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Please hit that like button and don't forget that little bell. It'll let you know when we upload our next video.
We'll see you guys all again real soon. Bye.
Bye.